By the gods, Pierre. How much further is it until we get to this undead-infested island you spoke of? Night has already settled and we've not arrived yet. That may be so, but I must ask if we've not maybe gotten lost on the way. I'd rather not turn back after spending so much time at sea this last week. And while we're at it, tell me why this island is so important. Well now, then I understand why this place is so important to you. It's one of those vampires returned to Korax in a bout for power, right? I see. However, I must now ask what my role in this is. Is it merely backup? Is that so? Well, color me interested, Pierre. Tell me more about this relic. That could be just about any arcane weapon, Pierre. You need to be more specific. How is this more special than something I'd buy in a battle mage store? Fates and destinies are often just mere coincidences and falsehoods, Pierre. But if only one of my bloodlines may use it, it could contain untapped potential, just waiting to be unleashed. Very well. In that case, I will seek for this relic while you hunt for the coffin. Sounds good to me. I'll be sure to keep up a good pace. You know I'm good at that sort of thing. But for now, let us ensure we actually make it to the island first.
Persistent delays. Have you gotten any closer to securing us those sorcerer vampires? You will have them soon. I've destroyed the last of Heinrich's coffins, which means that when I inevitably slay him, he will be unable to return to life once again. Then see to it that you travel to Mauristen in great haste. plans of my return is at hand, and I need those forces if we are to conquer Kronos once more. I understand. I will travel there immediately and get this over with before... There is an intruder behind you, Radical. Deal with them and then travel to Mauristen immediately. I cannot tolerate further delays from you. I don't have time for this trifle. King, deal with this intruder. I must depart.
There you are, Pierre. How did you fare? Is the deed done? Well enough. I found what you spoke of. Sounds like you just got more work to shoulder for your order, Pierre. Be careful. Dealing with one feral vampire is one thing, but two? That might be enough even to challenge the likes of Baratas and Perius. He's a resourceful fellow, Pierre. I am sure he will do just fine as you say. For now, man the oars and let's get the hell out of here finally.
Can it truly have been him? Well, to put a long story short, Radical is single-handedly responsible for the devolution of all bastard-born vampires in Mauristen. Indeed. After Radical struck his deal with Gorax, they all became what we now call Strigoi vampires. Degenerate and monstrous creatures who are not much more than feral animals. Since you saw the vampire Lord communicate with Gorax before he escaped the scene, and mentioned he was accompanied by Strigoi, I have no reason not to believe you speak the truth, Pierre. I regret having to put more responsibilities on you, Pierre. But you've succeeded thus far, and as such is the most capable agent in ridding Mauristen of not just Heinrich, but also perhaps Radical. It seems inevitable that you will fight both in this mission. We have received reports from Councillor Otto Scherzinger from the border city of Grunnesfeld that Heinrich and Radical's forces are trying to unearth forbidden powers from the many vaults that dot Mauristen's landscape. The vaults in Mauristen are vaults constructed for the sole purpose of locking away abyssal powers, relics and monsters so they may never threaten Mauristen again. However, despite the hidden and protected nature of these vaults, many minions of Gorax consistently try to break into them in order to appease their master upon his return. Precisely. Once you find a vault, you must find a way of entering it so that you may clean it out of hostile forces so you can consecrate the vault. If the vault contains a great threat in the form of a powerful entity, you must destroy it. Likewise, if you find an evil relic or tome, you must return to Grunnesfeld. Radical is a higher threat than Heinrich, but your primary target is still Heinrich. But before you deal with him, you must secure the vaults first. The vaults don't simply contain evil relics, and as such may also contain holy relics you can use to combat Heinrich and Radical both. Due to the ongoing skirmishes with the Griffin Brotherhood, we will be unable to supply you with healing and arcane requisitions for your trip, so you must purchase what you need from stores of Mauristen itself. As such, it is important that you conserve your money for as much as you can. There's no telling how much equipment you may find out in the wild itself. The Red Worm is pleased with your steadfast faith, Brother Pierre. With faith comes determination, and with determination comes success. Go forth now and return once the vile Heinrich has been slain.
Greetings, Heretic. Could you possibly help me and the Alpha Sora workers? The Satchel Sora's Pradip was a bit overrun by Sukoi and wet gold minions. When is 25 gold did it for you? You will? Excellent. I need you not just to cleanse the place of Sukoi and the ghouls, but also turn on for water flow again. The bastards turned it off as they overran me. I will be here until you are done. Trinity believes you. is it done? Have you played for sword atoms and turned out for water flow and phenomenal? I will tell my team as soon as possible, but for now I think I owe you that reward. Thanks again for your help, and may the Trinity be with you.
Welcome to Grünesfeld, Cleric of the Red Worm. I am Counselor Otto. I trust you are the one the church has sent to investigate the 5 nearby vaults. Travel to the nearby settlement called Rothenburg. The mayor, Brunhilda, can offer you more detailed information about the vaults. Take the main gate out of the city and follow the road north until you reach a walled community. Once you do, you've made it to Rothenburg village. The roads are safe. You'll find her within her manor on the northeastern side of the village. It is a big building with an orange roof. You must do your utmost to slay them both. Their very presence is an affront to the order that we have established in Mauristen. We do not know where Radukal is hidden, but we do know where Heinrich is. In his castle on the sloping road to the north of Rothenburg village. You will be unable to reach him. You must breach the barriers placed upon the bridge leading to his castle. You will require 4 runes of dispelling to do so. Each of the nearby, not directly. Heinrich stole several runes from the vaults and used them to block access to his castle. However, we still remember that you can always return to Grünesfeld to restock on supplies. Inns will charge you no money for your stay while you are on this mission. Remember to seek out Brunhilda in Rothenburg. Lastly, upon dispelling the final barrier, before you go to Heinrich's castle, return here. We will bestow upon you a great weapon that will aid in his distraction.
I greet you, stranger. You must be the cleric of the Red Worm Church that just arrived from the Driscoll Kingdom. My name is Tristan, and I am a stranger in these lands, just like you. My faith is a new one. It was formed in the Driscoll Kingdom by Pope Arius upon his discovery of the new gods that pity humanity and wish to see us rise from the ashes and enact a new age of peace and prosperity for all. The very same. I am here as a missionary of the faith. I am to tell others of the new faith that's brewing in the neighboring kingdom. I've been met with some hostility, but other civilians have expressed interest. I am aware, cleric of the Red Worm, but I wish to tell you of the new Pantheon, for I believe the Red Worm has misled you and others like you. I do not doubt he is powerful, but I feel he may be too inclined to crusades and purges. Pariah's faith shares the same vision, but we express the importance of the lives of the worshippers. Tell me, has the Red Worm expressed gratitude and love for his faithful? As I thought. Know that in the new Pantheon the gods will express their gratitude and love for the faithful openly. I would tell you more, but I'm afraid I've outstayed my welcome in this city. If you wish to learn more, meet me in the Raven's Nest Inn at Rottenburg Village. I will rent a room there. Ah, so you sought me out after all. I must admit I am surprised. I thought you would simply go about your business and forget you ever saw me. Why is that, my friend? In that case I shall. First is Javinium, god of knowledge. Through him we educate the people of the land. Goddess of life, Lanan, is a healer goddess and offers cures for diseases and aid for injuries. Then there's Centaurin, the god of nature. He seeks to protect nature in all its forms, no matter how big or small. No, there's also Lorimal, the storm god, Prometheus, the messenger god, and Cranvus, the god of war. Cranvus and Lorimal are part of our pantheon, but we more appease them than actively revere them due to their violent domains. It pays to be on the good side of the storm and war gods. Educating and welcoming is what I set out to do. Should you wish it, I will gladly introduce you to the faith, but that is once again your decision to make. I will not force it upon you. Now, there is something else I'd like to discuss with you as well. As an outsider from Driscoll and a non-believer of the Trinity, the peoples of this land do not let me lend my aid in cleansing places of evil. You, however, are not under any such suspicion, as you are a believer in one of their gods. Could you perhaps help me out? I will reward you for your services, of course. There are 3 places that need to be cleansed of evil, but the first one is the haunted Wagner Manor. Something keeps the spirits there still, and I'd like to know what it is that's keeping them there. Rumors abound about demonic influence, but I do not know for certain. The front entrance to Wagner Manor is sealed, so you cannot go that way. However, there is a backway entrance to the manor in the Black Peaks Canyon. A blue barrier blocks the way to it, but I have just the thing to breach the barrier on me. If you are truly interested, I will give it to you and you can investigate the old manor for me. Here it is then. Simply bring it up to the barrier and it'll do the rest for you. I shall await your return here. May the luck of the gods be upon you, friend. You may very well need it.
Welcome to Rottenburg Village, faithful. You must be the cleric we were expecting to look into the vaults that lie near Grinsfeld. Good. I shall answer whatever questions you may have, Redworm Cleric. Seeing as you're from the neighboring kingdom, I'm sure you would like to know more about the vaults. You see, historically, Mauristen used these so-called vaults to seal away demonic minions or relics that survived during the battle against Corhix. All those many, many years ago. Now, as I'm sure you've been told, the leader of the feral vampires, Lord Radical, has been scouring them for unknown reasons. We do not know if he's been successful with breaching yet, but plenty of his monsters have been sighted near the vault. Otto, no doubt, said I'd give you my key. But first, I need to see if you're capable of this mission. Go to the vault in the Black Peaks for me, and secure the Liber Oscar and tome within. It is imperative it does not make it into enemy hands, as the book is about luck. Take the western road out of town, and keep following the road until you find yourself at the canyon. You'll know it when you see it.
can see you are no normal citizen. You are a cleric just like me. Still, it is my duty to warn any who intend to travel to the dark forest of the dangers that lurk in every corner. Strigoi vampires and ghouls have amassed in great number, indeed. They are not fully devolved into mindless beasts, which makes them especially dangerous because they can then go on to command their more bestial kindred with some rudimentary tactics they otherwise lack on their own. Optimally, we'd want it slain, yes, but I cannot leave the village behind in case I need to be here to mount a defense against the Strigoi horde in the forest. Say, if you are still intent on going to the forest, I admire your conviction, Cleric of the Red Worm. Very well. To find its lair, you need to go to the dark forest, of course. Once there, search for a cave somewhere. I've heard the Strigoi amass in the center of the forest, so the cave must be somewhere in the center. Wish you luck out there, friend. Strigoi sources are not to be underestimated. Also, once you have slain it, bring me some of its remains as proof, and I will reward you with a blessed scroll dedicated to the Red Worm. Its vampiric skull should suffice.
You return. Have you done it? Did you banish whatever kept the spirits there so they may finally pass on? A shadow demon was the source of the haunting. That makes sense. They revel in tormenting mortals and their souls. Spirits would have a hard time escaping the clutches of such a fiend. Nonetheless, now that it is dead and haunting has ceased, the manor may be inhabitable again. Good work. I have not forgotten about it. Take these enchanted bracers. Their enchantment will make your skin as durable as dragon scales. Now there is the matter of the other two places of evil that need to be cleansed. I still cannot intervene myself, so it would fall to you. Are you Glad to hear it. I doubt the locals would wish to do anything about these matters unless it immediately affects them. The problem with this is that it allows evil to fester and grow stronger. Nevertheless, the next place I need you to visit is an old necromancer keep. As far as I've been able to piece together, this necromancer keep was abandoned by the Council of Bones decades ago. Some sort of accident led to the undead becoming independent from their masters, and so the necromancers were chased out of their keep. My theory is that a greater undead escaped the clutches of its masters and took control of the lesser undead there. If this is true, who knows what the loose undead might have planned. I need you to go to the keep and destroy this greater undead creature, whatever it may be. Exit the town through the east gate and enter the dark forest. On the eastern reaches of the main forest is another road that is currently blocked by another blue barrier. I will give you another holy symbol so you may dispel it and enter the keep's outskirts. Here is the rune. Just use it in front of the barrier and it should dispel it, just like the last one. One final thing before you go. At the keep there should be a tome of some sort that the necromancers used. I need you to find it for me so I may destroy it. If the necromancers created some greater undead they couldn't control, no one should know how to craft it. And if you haven't already, do speak with the mayor in her house.
Wish you luck out there, friend. Strigoi soldiers are not to be underestimated. Also, once you have slain it, bring me some of its remains as proof, and I will reward you with a blessed scroll dedicated to the Red Worm. Its vampiric skull should suffice.